Hey, how's it going, everybody? I want to talk about some video games, but it's a different type of video game. This is on my mind while I just came from the store, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. I don't drop that much about video news because there's nothing really to talk about, but I wanted to talk about how I look online. I wanted to talk about Last of Us, the original game, and I wanted to talk about Last of Us 2, the other game that come out that everybody got upset about. Now I told you guys that I was really late to the front as far as playing video games, and I didn't care for Last of Us because I couldn't get into the game, and so I put that game down. I told you guys the story if you look at my other videos, and so I talked to a guy at work. I asked him about the game, and he's like, He said you love Uncharted, but you never play Last of Us. I said, no, man, my friend talked me into getting it, and I said I just never. I couldn't get past the point. And then he asked me where I was at. And then he said, just look. And he told me what to do. And so I said, all right, I'll give it a try. Cause I put the game down for like a year. And so what I did was I went back, did what he said, and I went through it. And man, when I went through that game, I fell in love with the game. So I fell in love with the game so much. I was like, my goodness, that was a good game. I didn't think anything would ever be anything close to Uncharted. Now, Uncharted, I'm a big Uncharted fan. So I'm sitting there like, so when the new game came out, you gotta understand I have no nostalgia for Last of Us because I wasn't that video guy because I was late to the show. Even though I fell in love with Last of Us, when I did play Last of Us 2 and I heard about all the controversy, my buddy named Chuck, he told me, say, you might not like the game, or I heard there's some things in there. So what happened? He said, Joe got killed, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the whole story. So everybody was in an uproar. But what gets me, everybody was in an uproar, but everybody still played the game. Even the people that hated on the game, right? So you have people that hate the game, and then you have people after they played the game didn't like the game. I didn't care for the game either. But I'm not going to lie. That game was good. It's also a game that I'm going to get rid of. Why? Because I just don't like the story. But as far as me getting angry and mad, there's nothing you can do about it. The reason why I had to do this video, because when I go inside and start doing stuff, I forget everything and I have to try to remember. While I'm in my truck, I just came from the store and I had to think. So, everybody's got a hard on for Neil Druckmann, okay? I don't care, because when I played The Last of Us, I was so into that Last of Us, I was blown away by it. Like I said, I was very, very late to all these video games like everybody else. And some people have been born and bred pacifier and bottled milk video games. I was late. I just watched my kids play. And then most of my friends are 30 years younger than me, so they turned me on to a lot of games. I was like, wow, I like this game, blah, you know. So let's talk about Neil Druckmann and what he did with the game. Sure, it would have been great if he could have continued that story with him and Ellie, because I love that story. I thought that was a compelling story. But what you guys fail to realize, and everybody fails to realize, you still have that game. And I always be near and dear to my heart. But as far as me being upset about what Neil Druckmann did, if he wants to take that game in that direction, guess what? I don't have to play it. But I'm going to tell you this. What he is doing, and I really feel that what he is doing is he's changing the whole frontier of The Last of Us 2 with the HBO show, because the HBO show is such a major hit. He could be doing one or two things. He could be getting rid of all the older fans that was with Last of Us, and he's drawing in a new fan, because you guys know everybody is into everybody's into that men kissing men and women kissing women. They're shoehorning that into everything. Now, that's another thing. I do not get into men kissing men and women kissing women, but y'all can do you. I don't care, and I'm not going to judge. But guess what? I don't want to look at that stuff. I think it's gross and disgusting. So what I do is I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me. This is in here, so I don't watch it. But with that being said, he's changing everything in that. If you watch what he's doing, HBO Max, that is a big hit. That is a big hit. And I looked at the previews and I said to myself, in spite of the fact that I was disappointed that Ellie was gay, and in spite of the fact that I was disappointed with that, when I bought Last of Us last season, And my daughter always says, Dad, she goes, Dad, just fast forward. If you don't want to see two girls kissing, fast forward it, Dad. Just fast forward it, Dad. That's what she always says. I was like, God, that stuff makes me so mad. And she goes, I know, Dad, just fast forward it. All you're doing is they're just making out, just get past it and get back to the story. So I've been learning how to do that. But I still don't like it. But I'm not going to be that channel talking about that stuff. I don't talk about that stuff. I just let you know I don't care for it. But here is the thing that I think a lot of people's not. Neil Druckmann he could be doing one or two things. He's getting a whole different crowd with that HBO show. So he don't give two craps about that Last of Us original game. Somebody like us and the other people that are the diehard Last of Us lovers of the first game, you will always have that game. You will always have that game. If you like that game so much, make that be your golden coin that you got sitting up in your thing. You can be like, oh man, I love this game before they changed it. And that's it. That's it. Last but not least, because I had to do this while I was thinking. If this thing takes off, Neil Druckmann said, well, I don't think I'm going to make a Last of Us Part 3. Everybody's upset over Last of Us Part 2, but now everybody's complaining because he's not going to do a Last of Us Part 3. I'm like, okay, you're upset about him not, you're upset because how he did the story in Last of Us 2, but yet you're mad because he ain't going to do a Last of Us 3. Okay. So why this is on my mind, I'm late to YouTube too. Yeah, I'm late to YouTube. What I notice about YouTube, I notice a lot of people hate watch shows. You know why they hate watch shows? Because a guy told me, he says, I'm gonna watch that Star Wars Acopolis, that one chick made all that Acopolis, Star Wars Acopolis, where I heard it was just terrible. He hate watched that show. He complained week after week after week. And what he said was, go ahead and keep making those shows. And I'll go ahead and keep talking about them and upload videos. Why? Because I don't get paid for it. My station is too small. I don't get paid. But these bigger YouTubers, some of them like these shows and some of them hates these shows. And so what they do is they hate watch them because they need views. They need those subscriber base. They need that income coming in. I have a job. I can give two shits about this channel. Pardon my friends. I love this channel, but I'm not going to be worried about YouTube and worried about losing subscribers and worried about I ain't got enough videos uploaded. That's what they do because they can hate watch stuff. And then they got if you got 10,000 subscribers and we get our little community about thinks the same. And so if you hate watch something, you can have people that's hate watching it on your subs. Your subs are hate watching it. And then you got people that are subs saying, I'm not going to watch it because you're filling me in with what's going on with the show. So you hate watching it. You see what I mean? I don't hate watch stuff. If I see something that's got stuff in it, I just told you earlier, I don't watch it. I don't watch it. I just don't watch it. It takes me out. You know, God made man and woman. And I'm going to always stand by that. And I'm not going to be that channel talking about that stuff. I'm letting y'all know out there. Like I said, I had a guy tell me that he would subscribe if I didn't say, God bless and take care. And you know what I said to him? I said, man, thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate you watching it. And I understand how you feel. And, you know, that's your thing. But I'm not going to stop what I believe in. And I'm not going to run away from my faith just to up views. I could get into politics. I can get into all kinds of stuff and get more views if I did that. I could talk about that thing called woke. I don't get into that. But what I'm making a point here is this. If you don't like Neil Druckmann, then don't watch his stuff. And if you don't like Last of Us 2, then why would you want a Last of Us 3? You just want to see where the story goes or you just want to complain again? Here's the thing, and I'll close on this in closing. Last of Us on HBO Max. They're going to make it into 2 more seasons, I think, and stretch it out. Because Neil Druckmann is smart. He's going to fill in a lot more stuff in there. He's changing stuff up. He's going away from that Last of Us game completely. And it started with Last of Us 2. And so by him making this gets big and big. I heard that it had the biggest viewingship as far as trailer, right? So if it takes off, he could sit there all day long and say, I ain't going to make a Last of Us 3. Then he'll decide that he's going to make a Last of Us 3 because he's got the new people who are into this new show because it makes him create more stuff to get away from Last of Us. Like all the fans that love Last of Us, I love Last of Us, but I'm late. I don't have that, I love that. I remember. No, somebody turned me on to it, and I was like, man, I don't want to play. Because I'm trying to get you to understand, I was a big Uncharted fan. So I looked at Last of Us, and I got the game. I threw that game off to the side. I just said, man, ain't nothing going to beat Uncharted. And it still ain't nothing beat Uncharted. But Last of Us is a good game. I ain't going to lie. But I'm just not that guy. So, in closing, one or two things. If this is a big hit like it was last year, because I did buy that season 1 of HBO Max, season 1 of Last of Us. There's just one episode I don't watch. I thought it was just ridiculous. They didn't put the actual story in there, but that is what it is, right? Okay, got that from my daughter. Dad, don't watch it, Dad. Don't watch it. Just fast forward it, Dad. Because she's like, there's shows she liked that she said that she know I like. And when I watched it, I was so mad. I texted and she said, Dad, just fast forward it. I was mad for a couple days, and then I cooled down. I fast forwarded. And ever since she gave me that idea, I fast forward. I can't stand that stuff. I think it's disgusting. But I'm not going to be that channel that talks about them. Just letting y'all know how I feel. So in closing, if this is big, and then everybody's all jacked up and just think everybody make a comment like, oh my God, I can't wait till the next season. Oh, it's just so good, because he can be more creative with the show, and he could put more stuff in there to get away from the original show, the original game. Not only that, he can get a whole new slew of people following that series on HBO Max. And then y'all gonna be shocked when he finally come up and say, "Oh, we're about done with that new space thing he's got coming out called the Heritage thing, that new game they're working on, where he's got that chick in the spacesuit and she goes off and she goes to this planet." I don't know if that's gonna be any good or not, but you're gonna bet your sweet butter I'm gonna check it out when it's ready to release, because they do a good job. Now, if he shoehorns all that stuff in there like he did in Last of Us 2, then I'll be like, well, I guess he ain't going to stop doing that. That's what I'm going to say, because I'm not going to get mad. Now, when that game comes out and people play it, you watch this. When Heritage Prophet come out and people play it, because now people's mad because he says it's going to be based on loneliness and religion and everything like that. Because, again, Neil Druckmann is into this messaging stuff with 2 men being together and 2 women being together. So if he is going that route, then me following God by my faith, he's going to try to do things that's going to try to alleviate people from believing in God and trying to question their faith. And I ain't going to have nothing to do with that. But anyway, last but not least, if this blows up like last year blows up, and it blows up bigger this year, and then you can't wait to see the next season, because whatever he's going to do, because I ain't going to lie, it looks good to me. It looks dang good. I mean, it looks really good. And then he will make an announcement when they're about done with the Heritage and says, we finally came up with a story for Last of Us Part 3. You see what I'm saying here? The man is smart. You can say what you can say about him. You can hate on him all day. A lot of these YouTubers out there, they hate watch stuff. I don't hate watch stuff. I could care less about getting 10,000 subscribers, 100,000. Do I like to have that? Yes, but not really. If I got to do all that, I just don't watch that and I don't care for. So, like I said, one or two things can happen. He's going away from the first game. He is going way away from the first game. All the ideas that they are coming up with, he's putting it in The Last of Us Part 2, which is in The Last of Us HBO, when he did the 2 years ago when he did the first series. Now he's on the second series. It looks great. If they said they're going to break it down, so there's going to be 3 seasons altogether. The one that he came out with a couple years ago, April, is when the new HBO Max Last of Us Season 2 comes out, and they're going to do The Last of Us Season 3. This gives Neil Druckmann and his crew time to do something totally different, because he's pushing away the original group. And he might get an even larger group, because a lot of people's all into this new stuff, you know, there's no God, and men can be with men, and sex changes and all that kind of stuff, and that, that's your body, that's whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, man, the man is smart. And don't be surprised if it does good this year, which I think it's going to be, and it really do good. And everybody's like, oh my God, I cannot wait till this next third season come out. It was just so good. And all the YouTubers are raving. I can name some big YouTubers that just, they're losing. There's women that's probably crapping in their drawers, and men's probably losing, they're losing a nut because they're so excited. I hate to say that, but they're so excited to see this show. So he has the following, you guys, what I'm trying to tell you. He has the following. I was just thinking about this the last couple of days. I was like, man, you guys just going to have to let this crap go. I think the man is smart. I really do. I don't really have nothing against him because I could care less, man, to tell you the truth. I'm just letting you know I can see what the man's doing, because how can I hate somebody when I'm not new to the video world, you guys? I'm late to video game playing. Y'all know that. I told y'all that. I'm very late. Seriously late. You're talking to a 67-year-old guy who watched his kids play video games, and then, by me staying fit, thank God, and all that, my friends are much younger than me, and I was like, what is this game? And they tell me, and then they said, Vic, you play video games? And they told me, and then that's how I got into this video games. I told y'all all these stories in past prior. So I don't have that Last of Us like most majority of people do. I don't have Uncharted like most of the people do. But I love Uncharted. And I did not like Uncharted movie at all with Tom Holland. No, he was not. That is not that I didn't even give it a shot. And I don't care if people say in the comment, I am not watching that crap. Him and I don't know what's that dude's name. The guys that him playing Sully. I was just like, what is? I didn't even watch it. I didn't give it time of day. Didn't even watch it on Netflix when it was available. So all I'm telling you is this. In closing, the man is smart. So I can't say anything bad about him because I don't have that history with video games like most people do. I understand what a lot of y'all upset with, and I understand some of y'all was losing your crap over the HBO, the Last of Us 2, and some of you love Last of Us 2. And also, in closing too, Last of Us 2, I played that game. And I also thought it should got Game of the Year. You know why I thought it should got Game of the Year? Because it made so many people mad. People played that. Hate played it. They got on the big YouTubers like, oh, I'm just not happy with Joe, but I decided to buy this game and play it anyway. If you look back at all the YouTubers that claim they hated that game, go back to the video and say, well, I decided to go back and play it, and they played it, and they played it. Hate played it. So you can sit back and go, well, they hate played it. What's the difference? You still bought the game. You still put the game out there. You give it traction. All that hate's giving something traction. They can sit there and go, we're going to make this, and everybody's going to hate it, and everybody's going to watch it, and everybody's going to put it out there. And then the ones that might not like it, they're going to be interested in boom. The same way when they did Barbie. I thought Barbie was funny. I remember when I went in there and watched it. I was the only dude that I went in there. It was hot. I'll never forget this story. I went in there. I just want to see what it's all about. When I was in there, I started laughing. I said, boy, there's going to be a lot of people mad about this movie. And man, was they mad. They were so mad at that movie Barbie. I laughed. I don't know why it hit me that way. I just laughed. I said, this is going to cause a lot of problems. And boy, did it. It caused all $1 billion. One with a B. $1 billion of problems. You see where I'm going here? So anyway, that's all I got. And yes, I know I don't get that many views, but this was on my mind. And yes, this is about video games. And yes, if Heretic Prophet comes out and I don't like it, then I could just always give the game away. I don't have no problem giving the game away. Some people's like, oh, take the game, put it on eBay, take the game and sell it, blah, blah. Just give it away. I'll just give it away because I have no more use for it. I ain't got time for all that. I'll just either put it in a bin or take it to Salvation Army or Goodwill. But I am going to play Heretic Prophet because I want to see where they're going with that. So anyway, God bless, take care. And I just thought I'd drop this about this, Last of Us, the video game, part 1. Last of Us, the video game, part 2. Like I told you guys before, after it was all said and done, I didn't like the story, but I don't have that history. I don't have that like most people. I told y'all I was late to the game. What I have a history with, I'd say it's Gears of War. Gears of War, man, I played with my youngest son, and yes, Gears of War is not near as good as it used to be. They'll never be able to touch that first game, but that is what is near and dear to my heart, Gears of War. And then second would be Uncharted. So anyway, and then I like the Tomb Raiders, the 3 Tomb Raiders that came out like, I don't know, 12 years ago. But anyway, God bless, take care, and we'll catch you next video. Talk to you soon.